I want to welcome everybody here. It is good to be back, and I'm really sorry that I missed Tuesday, but I've been on the road a lot the last 10 days, and we just got in today around 3 o'clock, had to pick up the birds and uh, get in the house, and then I worked on that chapter 1 presentation tonight, so we'll see how that goes. And Dorothy's going to talk about some calls. Marcia's going to update us on Dick, and then we'll get on with the rest of the call. So, Marsh, you want to start?
Yes. Yesterday, he saw his cardiologist, who has reviewed him for the next 3 months. He said he was doing really well. His heart was sounding better, and he seems to have the electrocardiogram shows that he's not in AFib, and his heart is beating at a better normal rate. But that's with medications. That's with, like, for medication.
Yeah.
Today we went to see his urologist, and his kidney function is coming back.
That's
So
wonderful.
we had 2 good days of doctors, and we will go see the pulmonary doctor next Thursday. And
Wow.
so he is doing better. He's not using the oxygen as much, and he's walking short distances. As a matter of fact, he's out walking Sassy now. He's actually walking him. So he's doing a lot better.
Good.
Yeah, it's a relief.
Yeah.
And he
That is
decided not to do the 5-in-1
Yeah.
because there's too much potassium in it. And so he's doing like 3-in-3.
Oh, okay. And you cleared that with your doctor?
Yeah, he knows. Oh, yeah, Dr. Barrett now wants, he said, I forgot all about it, and he wants us to drop off some cards, and we're going to make some of our brochures back up again.
Yeah.
Update them, and so, because he says, he amazes me because they, I said, I don't think he would have made it to the hospital if he hadn't gotten healthy before.
Yeah, I know we see that and visit that a lot with a lot of people. I had an interesting situation happen on the way back when we left up there in Georgia. I pushed on our GPS to go home, and I always use my iPhone to also do my traveling, just to see how they agree or disagree, and then I'll go to the list to make sure what one's doing and what the other one's doing, and pick whichever one I like the best. And the GPS that I pushed to go to my home, it went the same way for a long way, and then all of a sudden it was just trying to get us off of the interstate. I was so glad that I had my cell phone doing it, and we said, what on earth is going on with this GPS? Go ahead, Dorothy, say something.
Mine did the same thing. I was driving on the expressway, and it told me to make a right-hand turn with my other car, not this car, but it told me to make a right-hand turn.
Yeah,
Like,
it did.
on the expressway.
Yeah. I think anybody that's used the GPS has learned you can't just solely rely on that. You better have a working knowledge of what it is you're wanting to do before you get it. But what I thought was funny is I'm sitting there watching it going crazy, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I come to the conclusion that whatever is in my button that says home, it must have got changed or something, because I think that one was trying to go to someplace completely different than where I was trying to go. But what was happening when this was going on, the first thing I had about it was, you know how they talk about you cannot rely on a scale for your weight. So I'm having this little thought about, boy, GPS is like a scale. You can't rely on it. But that was my first thought. And then I got to thinking about the GPS in the way of we get on a path, and then we take a wrong path, and then we get back up on the right path. And I thought how that paralleled to, it's how quickly we correct our course. And the other thing that happened is once I become convinced I had the wrong address in there, that kind of made a metaphor to me of, like, we want to lose weight and be healthy, but we also want to eat and enjoy. And so that's like the wrong address, you know. So I was just having a whole good time right there with my GPS today. Can anybody relate to that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought that was kind of funny.
No, it has sent me in the wrong direction several times. Yeah.
Tony went to a convenience store to get him a cup of coffee this morning, and when he came out, he had a croissant with egg and I think he had cheese and sausage on it. Anyway, and that's the first time I've ever seen him walk out with one of anything. And then I got what he did because he knew I wouldn't eat it, so he didn't even bother asking me. And so I figured all that out as he was getting in the car. When he sat down, I said, "Thank you." But that was nice. That's fine. I finally felt like he might understand what I need him to understand. That was really very good. And I can't tell you what Dorothy. I called Dorothy when we were in Georgia, and she said she'd gone to Stone Mountain. Does everyone here know Stone Mountain? You know, there's this huge mountain in Georgia, and people make it like a bucket list to climb it. And Dorothy knew about it. I didn't know about it either. And Dorothy had done it a long time ago. And Tony and I went up this mountain, and most of it is straight up. And when we got up there, we looked at the first picture and the picture when we actually crested, and it took us 57 minutes. And then we heard other people as they were coming up, "Oh, we did it in an hour and 30 minutes. We did it." We all looked at each other and said, "Wait, what is this? They're acting like that's great. What did we do?" You know. But as we're going up the mountain, everybody's talking to each other, and I really didn't see no gray hair on the mountain, none. And most everybody was probably 30 and younger. And the youngest was like 3 years old. Cheryl is calling me. Hold on just a second.
Dawn got cut off.
I'm sorry. Cheryl, there's a link in the challenge room. Ah, okay. Okay. Sorry for the break. We had to get a link there to Cheryl. She should be in any minute now. And that's for the benefit of the people watching tomorrow. So anyway, so where we left it is we were doing that climb up that mountain. And Tony is 83. And it's like unheard of. He was becoming like a god up there. People were worshiping him. But yeah, really. And there's a picture of him doing his little thing, and he has these muscles. Yeah, that's where we've been going to the gym. Tony's loving that picture. But there was a time when going up that mountain, I wouldn't even thought about it, much less actually went there and tried to do it. I would have had something better to do that day, and I'd have told them to go without me. And I think Dorothy was a really big influence on me in that moment, that she had been there and done that a long time ago. And I didn't go to the top.
I was there.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the top.
Yeah, so I wanted to go to the top just so I could tell Dorothy I went to the top.
But you know what? I had rheumatic fever as a child, and in my mind, I knew that I shouldn't do it.
Oh.
Because I had rheumatic fever. I would stop in the middle of many things that I did because the doctor told me, "You'll never be able to do what other people can do, and you'll never be old. You'll never grow old." And they're all dead now.
You know, we saw names scratched into those rocks that went back to the 1700s.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was amazing. And I have to learn more about that stone. That's why they call it Stone Mountain. And it's just one huge stone that sits there in Georgia. And they have done they have carved in the side of that stone Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. And I was telling Dorothy, they do a laser show there. And they actually bring those horses and those riders to life, and they put them in full charge, and they do a great military presentation, a state of Georgia presentation, and then they cover the South, and then they build up to the United States. And it really is, it is really something very special. I'm sure we'll go back and see it again. But I had a great trip, and it's good to be back. It was a little hard to keep up. I didn't have internet, didn't have phone. It was good to get back to the land of the living. And when I go up there again next year, I'm getting a room instead of a cabin. The cabins don't have internets, and the lodge does. So I told all of them in the cabins they could kiss me goodbye. I'm going to the lodge next year. That was just too hard. Dorothy, I see Cheryl hasn't made it in yet. You want to do your, two things I want you to do. I want to be paying attention when you do your glasses and tell us about what you're doing there. And I would love for you to go ahead and share the nurses call. I'm going to mute me so I can see what's going on with Cheryl and try to help her. Is that okay?
So I would have to share my screen in order to hit.
Cheryl's here. I don't have to do anything anymore.
Here.
Yeah. So you can share your screen. Do you need to share with? Oh, he's getting beautiful, Colleen. Look at him.
He's precious. He's just
Oh
precious.
my gosh. He's a little person now. Hit share your screen. Do you need sound?
No, I can hear you. Are you talking to me?
No, but if you can hear me, that's good to know, Cheryl.
Okay.
Dorothy's sharing her screen.
Hopefully I won't erase everybody and do something
Yeah.
that I'm not supposed to. He wants me to share my glasses that I did.
Oh.
This is, I painted a set of glasses.
Oh my God.
I did not paint these. These are a sample of what I painted. And what it is that hopefully I'm not going to, if I close this down, I won't close you guys out.
You're not going to. That's good.
Okay. And then if you look inside the glass, it's done so that when you look inside, you can see, when you're drinking it, you can see the actual inside of the blossom.
It's gorgeous.
Everything is on the inside. So I did it for, we had an auction. I belong to the Business and Professional Women, and we give two scholarships, two $500 scholarships. But we had an auction, and I did the two glasses and a bottle of wine, and I got $26 for it at auction. So it was kind of exciting. So now I'm going to stop sharing, but I don't know how to do that.
Oh, that's right up at the top, Dorothy.
Okay, stop share. Okay. I don't want to. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Glasses, gorgeous.
And now will you bless us with your...
Okay. Now this is last week's nurse's call. It was Frida Keller, and she was talking about family get-togethers, like, 4th of July is coming up, and she went into how to be prepared. Okay. Number one, you got to be prepared with a plan. Have your meal replacements with you. Number two, do not leave your replacements at home. And if you have to, go over to the 3 and 3 optimal health program, which would be 3 good meals and 3 of our meal replacements. Also, she said to go to, if you're looking for the 100-calorie snacks, and if you have the Habits of Health, page 120 and 119 through 121 will give you a lot of 100-calorie snacks. Let's see, have fun celebrating without gaining weight. Drink your water. Use the meal replacements. Number 4 is get support from your family and friends. In fact, you might be able to get some of them on board. 5 is keep a proactive attitude. Your goal is not just weight loss, it's to be healthy. 6, get extra exercise. 7, have a cup of coffee instead of dessert, and maybe help with the cleanup and the dishes. It says to bring a healthy food for yourself, and you can share it. Okay. I think that's one of the clients had a question about, she only lost 7 pounds in a month, and she wanted to know why everybody else was doing better than her. And what she said was, you can't compare yourself with other people, especially men, or if you don't have a lot of muscle burns fat. And if you don't have a lot of muscle, and this lady was now able to exercise, and she said that, you know, building muscle will help her to be able to burn more calories. So that was her call. She suggested that you set a timer for every 3 hours because some people forget to eat. They forget to get all their meals in. She gave a phone number for nutrition support. And that was the gist of her call. And I also covered the habits of health for the 1st of June. And that is very interesting because the first Wednesday of every month, they're going to be going through the habits of health, and they're going to be giving a lot of information. Rather than just discussing habits of health, they're going to actually go through the book and the workbook, which I thought was very interesting. And they have a Zoom. You can actually connect with them on Zoom. Connie, you want to put the ID number on the challenge?
I can just say it. The Habits of Health call, let me say this, is on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And I think I can see that without my glasses, right? Okay. The telephone number, if you want to participate on the phone, is 512-225-9427. And the PIN would be 77421#. But they're now making it accessible to you on the internet through the Zoom. You go to www.zoom.us, and they're holding a meeting just like this. He calls it the Brady Bunch. And the ID number there is 951-757-5103. And you'll come into a meeting just like this, but there will be 20 or so other people there. And now that they're starting to Habits Health, and we're going to do a little bit of that tonight, I'm sure. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they cover it. I'm definitely going to attend that because I truly see the benefit. And I will do it by Zoom as well.
That one on Wednesday night, Kathy? Or Connie?
Yeah, that's fine. I've been called worse. Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Wednesday at 8.
Yeah, it really is a great call. We're going to do, I've got it set for June 24th, I believe 7:30. We're going to do that Fitbit training. And I believe we will be learning from each other. I do have people that are coming that have nothing to do with anything else we do, but they have Fitbits and they want to share what they know and they want to learn what we know. So on June 24th, 7:30, we're going to do the Fitbit training.
Where did y'all get your Fitbits?
So I got my Fitbit at Kohl's. And at Kohl's, and the HR is what I have, and that's the one I would recommend anyone to get.
What is that one, Connie?
It's the HR. It has a heart rate monitor on it.
Oh, that Dick would use that one.
It's very good. And I love my Fitbit is right up there with any of my favorite things I've ever had. I can't imagine not having my Fitbit. And what was I going to say? Something. Oh, and Tony got his at Sports Authority. And then Gary won one on the last challenge. Remember that? He and Don won a Fitbit. So once he got his, he wanted DHR. They sent them the Flex. We will be covering the different varieties of the Fitbit. It's not just going to be one style. So it doesn't matter which Fitbit you have. I think you can benefit from this training we're going to do. And Gary ordered his from Amazon. So he ordered an HR from Amazon. So that is that on that. So moving on. So now I think I will share my screen. Let me get this up here where I can, from the beginning. Now, where's my Zoom? It's right here. And share my screen. No, don't need the sound. Okay, can we see this?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to do lesson 1 from the workbook, My Style. And there is no way to really do the book justice in a few minutes. So I tried to get what really mattered most to me and share that with you. And to begin this with, nothing is better than having a strong commitment, because that's really what's going to dictate your actions. And so being very, very committed to what it is you're doing will be the secret to your success. Marcia, some of this might look familiar to you because I went back and revisited some of my slides that I used when we used to have our meetings.
Yep.
And, yeah. So let me get that over there. And creating optimal health through understanding the Habits of Health, the home study course. It's the most important choice you can make, because without your health, life really loses its purpose and meaning, and certainly it loses its luster. No matter where your starting point, you can protect yourself from the hands of time through small, doable steps. Those are the things that you learn as you go through the Habits of Health study course. We take too many medicines and we have too little hope. The Habits of Health show you how to create health in a world that would rob you of it. Dr. Anderson, others here, Dorothy and Marcia have both met Dr. Anderson, and it is my belief, and I think they will agree, that Dr. Anderson is the real deal. He is a down-to-earth person. Everything he does is heartfelt, and I can remember one of the earlier things he said that really struck me in my heart was he was a critical care physician, and he saw people in their end days, and it was really troublesome for him. He said he would look in their eyes and it would be like pleading, do something for me, do something for me. And he said it was way too late. But he always believed if he could get to them further downstream, he could change their outcome. And it was because of this that he started to take Shape for Life. And his true mission is to get America healthy. And I think through these challenges and to reach out each person's own desire, he really is making a big dent in that. Dorothy and Marcia, I would like y'all to share just one experience that you have so other people can have that little bit of insight that we have into Dr. Anderson. Let's start with you, Dorothy. You've had so many that you could share. I don't know how you could pick one.
Yeah, that probably for me the most exciting thing was to be chosen when I had people here for him to call the house. And talk to the people that I had at my home. And that was very, very exciting for me. It was,
It was exciting for all of us.
I know we all called it for.
Yeah, it was exciting. And that, I mean, for him to pick out, I think he picked out a dozen people that were having that meeting in their home on that date, sometime in September. And there was only a dozen people that he called. So for me, it was just so exciting to be chosen.
I agree, Dorothy.
Yeah.
Marsh, what comes to your mind?
I think going to the first conference and actually seeing him on action on stage, he's just a ball of fire. He's just from one end of the stage to the other. And then I had gotten his book, and he's so personal. I mean, when I got there, I figured he'd just sign it and say, good luck or something. But he really cares about everybody. He's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't explain it until you see him, and you can feel his commitment.
You want to be part of it. He's so genuine and sincere about what he's doing, and what he has done has made such a huge contribution to the effort in its whole, that how can you not get on the bandwagon and help him? I know he has motivated me that way.
I know
that's what made me, after seeing him and being in one of his workshops, I decided that I should be a coach. Yeah. Connie had been asking me, and I said, no, and things. But after seeing the commitment he had, and that was when they were doing Join the Wave, I think the first one I went to was Join the Wave. And I just had to pass this on of all this stuff and I've never been sorry.
What were you going to say, Dorothy?
Dan got in on the Zoom that they asked the coaches not to go to, remember?
Uh-huh.
And she said that he's so real. The whole thing, the whole movement she was so impressed with the whole movement coming from the way that he talked and the idea that he is out there to get everybody healthy. No matter how, just using the book, if you never use the meal replacements, he's out there to make people aware that the decisions that they're making every day is going to change their life. Whether it's a meal replacement or if it's a 100-calorie snack or whatever, she was very impressed. And, I was always feeling that way, and that's how I came across. But she realized when she got in on the Zoom why I felt that way.
Yeah. I remember his wife, Lori, saying that people stood in line. They had to wait for appointments with Dr. Anderson because he was so busy because of the expert he is. And he left a life behind him, and he has made what he knows, who he is, and what he does accessible to all of us. So truly having his time and his knowledge available to us in this format is a gift that money can't buy. And I will share that with everyone.
Yeah.
Now, there have been many before me. There's been many since me. But I got to say, today I'm stronger and healthier, and I have a much better life because of it. And for me to be able to do what I consider to be the impossible and enjoy the quality of life that I have today is completely because of him and the program. So let's start with getting you back in the driver's seat, the roadmap to optimal health. Changing long-term habits takes effort and commitment. The program has proven over and over again it's possible to change. We teach you the knowledge you need to prepare you for the journey. The path to optimal health has 3 components: reaching your healthy weight, learning the habits of health, and using what you learn on a daily basis. It's about your daily choices, what works and what doesn't. We also learn the principles of living a long and healthy life. Dorothy and Marcia, if you want to interject on any of these, you are a coach just as well as me. Feel free to enlarge on what I'm saying. Just let me know when you have something to contribute. The part 1, this requires us to take charge of our own health, and that's not something I think a lot of us do. I think we either are careless with it or we allow ourselves to do things we know that are not going to benefit us in the long run. So the first step in all of this is actually taking responsibility for your own health. And I think that would be the common bond that everybody in the challenge has. Would you guys agree with that?
Definitely.
Yeah. Our generation is the first generation whose health is less than that of our parents. It is believed that the next generation will die earlier deaths than us. We are on the path that is eroding our health. I'm going to send out, I talked about the health assessment in the last one, but because it's tied into this chapter, I held off, and I'm going to go ahead and send everyone the health assessment today. But the health assessment gets you to realize where you're at And because of that, then you will be able to have a clearer picture of where you want to go. Chapter 1 is not your fault. When we first covered this chapter, one of my big things was taking responsibility. And it took me a while to embrace this thought that something like this wouldn't be your fault, because who else could do it to you except you? You're the one putting things in your mouth. You're the one that's not getting up and moving. But he really makes a very valid point, because 10,000 years ago, there was no obesity, no heart disease, and no diabetes. These people had to get up and do stuff, you know. It wasn't brought to them. It wasn't given to them. They also did their own cooking. Our bodies are energy efficient. Our bodies are designed to store fat for those times that food is scarce. We are here today because our ancestors stored fat so well. So this is by design that we do this. And that's what he means by it's not your fault. In the 21st century, today, getting food takes little or no effort. Hunting and gathering is going to the fast food restaurant. Calories consumed, calories burned are way out of whack. It's not our fault that we were born in a time of plenty with food that is not only not good for you, but it's also addictive. It is also not our fault that we live in an age of convenience and a lot of less activity. I mean, this is what it looks like now. You know, you can't go down the street that you don't see a million fast food restaurants. I noticed when I was on this trip, because I was with my family, and I have family members on the program that have been successful. And so that puts us in the minority around everybody else. And then that creates a uncomfortable feeling for people when they start to eat, to the point where I finally said, listen, I eat what I want. You eat what you want. I'm comfortable with what you do, and I hope you will be comfortable with my choices. And then everything got better. But I got to tell you, I saw so many things, and I guess I might have been guilty of it. But I saw one person order. She turned around and said, do you want any? I ordered cheese fries, the cheese sticks, and hot wings. And then for her dinner, she ordered like 5 more entrees, and she ate all of them. And then another person at a buffet took the buffet and then ordered pancakes on the side. And I couldn't help but think about the calories, and I knew we weren't going to do that much because we were visiting. So obviously all of that turned to fat, but it's just so easy to get. It tastes good. Going into another thing I noticed is going into Golden Corral, where it's all you can eat. I was surprised at the people who watched what they ate. When they went in there, it was like this was free food, and they needed to get as much for as long as they were there, because it didn't cost them anymore. Now, I know I must have thought that, because I can remember thinking, get this, get this, get this, it doesn't cost anymore. I can remember having some of that. So all of those lend to the weight problem and obesity and diabetes that we all have. So here we are with our 10,000-year-old bodies in the 21st century. We're accused of having no willpower. We're accused of going on diets and falling off diets and then gaining the weight back, and the yo-yo effect that they talk about. And there is a lot more going on inside of us than weak willpower or lack of response. Our bodies inherited a number of instincts that are no longer useful but need to be reckoned with. It makes you feel powerless. You have a conflict between two goals, your desire to be healthy and your instinct to eat everything. And you know that rings true. So if you have this instinct to eat food when it's available and it's readily available, there's only one thing that can happen: excess calories and no movement. What about the food industry? Does everybody agree they sabotage our health?
Definitely.
Is there anyone out there that thinks they don't? All right. Sodas, snacks, and breads are not your friends. Businesses used to make money by making high quality foods and earning your loyalty. You know, back in the day, you knew who your farmer was. You knew who grew your food. That's no longer the case. High fructose corn syrup is cheaper, and it leads to disease. It's addictive, and it keeps your body from realizing when it's full. That's really bad. Food science has learned how to make food cheap and plentiful. These facts are not your fault. It's now we need to turn our focus from fighting disease to getting healthy. You know, I hear the question all the time. You can, or the statement all the time. I can afford to buy whole food. I have a family, and food is cheap, so that's what they do. The medical technology, where do they come in on all of this? It is focused on sick care. It has to pay for new technology, new breakthroughs. Why is disease present anyway? Why are they focused on curing illness instead of creating health and well-being? Medicines and surgery for those already sick is necessary, but way too far downstream. Worse yet is the alarming number of our youths that are obese and diabetic. It is an epidemic portion. They really have a concern for our military because of the condition that the youth is in. They're not even going to be able to serve. What are we going to do when we don't have people to be in the armed forces? Medications are making us sick, and it's not just our health that is suffering. It's our wallet. It's our money. They're breaking us. They're breaking the bank. The greatest problem in this nation is healthcare, and it's bankrupting the country. You're changing the world. To those who are thinking of taking the journey, join us. To those who are on the path, welcome. To those who have created optimal health, lead. Living a longer, healthier life. As you prepare for your journey to optimal health, you'll need to recognize the influence of your environment on your current health, create a new microenvironment that supports better health, understand the power of habits in all aspects of your life, determine to take responsibility for your health, make the fundamental choice to create optimal health in your life, learn the systems for implementing these new behaviors in your life. So what did you say? That's what we're doing with the challenge also?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yeah, I love that. The trouble with the world is not that people know too little, but they know so many things that ain't so. So your goals: understand how your innate design conflicts with our world, learn which factors causes us to accumulate fat, and identify a new path to create health versus react to disease. And that, my friends, is chapter 1.
I would like to interject something that was on the Habits of Health call that really struck home to me. He talked about a person who gets tired and overworked, and all he wants to do is go home and lay down and order a pizza.
Yep.
And do we have a comfort strategy is what they're talking about. He says to this person, did you feel the way you wanted to once you ate the pizza? And he knew that by eating that first bite of pizza, it didn't make him feel good because he had lost the discipline of his goal. And they're saying you have to think about it before it even happens, but also when it does happen, ask yourself, was it worth it to have eaten the pizza? So that's one of the things that it was in the Habits of Health, which I thought, how many times have we done that when we don't plan and we do whatever is the fastest thing.
Yeah, you know, I have never, since I got on this program, messed a day up. Really, I'm very vigilant. And when we went to the mountain, I didn't think about eating all day long. I went all day. I've never done that. I went all day, but that's how good a time I was having. And yeah, and so that's habit health too. But I will be more careful about that in the future. And yeah, you know, when I'm home in my normal routine, I have my little box that I carry with me that has everything in it. I always take my water with me. But up there, I just was not prepared. When I take this next trip, I'm going to be more prepared. I heard an analogy about an airplane that when they set the navigations and it's headed into a certain direction, they're always correcting it. And I didn't know that. It never goes from A to Z, A to B in a straight line. It's constantly shifting, and they're constantly correcting in order to get where you're going. And they related that to weight loss, and how quick you correct it is the less damage you're going to do. And they were talking about people who avoid the scale. It's because more than likely they're drifting. They don't want to see what the scale says. So a scale is a really good tool in that way of keeping you vigilant and helping you keep committed to the commitment that you've made to yourself. And it is a process. And I think over time, it won't be hard. It will become second nature. Yeah.
It does.
Anything, Marsh?
It's just amazing that when I first started, it was I needed to get healthy. I needed to get healthier. I was headed down a bad road, and it got easier. And even now, not that I'm always the best, but I find I more and more don't want this other stuff, this junk food. And Cheryl, was it you that said that you went down at the grocery store, or was it I can't remember, but I commented back that how I loved popcorn, and I don't even like it. And then when Take Shape come out with popcorn, I was so thrilled, and I don't like it. I got a box of it sitting in there because I don't want it.
You know, I was thinking,
if you stay on the path and stuff, it is amazing how your whole what you like and don't like changes. I mean,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question of everyone here. Let me see if I can come up with something. Since I started thinking about my health, and I don't look at us in the room as being on the program so much as we are on a path to getting healthy, each of us taking our own steps to it. But I hear a lot from people, and the ones I deal with are on the program, but they all say, but I don't eat like I used to. It can be even someone who is not eating good at all, but they still don't eat as much, or they eat better junk than they used to eat, because it's really confusing out there what's junk and what's not. But for me, I have not had a lot of things or done a lot of things since I started this program. And one of them would be is I've never gone back to drinking anything but water. And I stopped that in 2010. The worst thing I do is I put flavor in my water. So water is it, and I don't drink anything. That definitely has changed for me in the rest of my life. I won't ever go back to drinking anything else but water, because most everything is laden with sugar. I felt so bad for people buying the orange juice in the bottles up there, because we hear about it. You might as well have a Coke for all the pasteurization and the sugar that's in orange juice. If you want orange juice, juice the oranges. That's the only way you're really going to get good orange juice anymore. And I just watched them drinking the orange juice, and they were doing things to make me feel how healthy they were being, you know. And I wouldn't dare rain on their parade. I keep my mouth shut. I only do things like that when it's one-on-one and somebody's looking for the answer. But what about you, Dorothy? Let's start with you. One thing you don't do anymore.
Well, I hardly ever drink pop. I used to drink one every day. I still drink coffee. I drink a lot of water, and I do flavor it.
Portions? Have your portions changed?
Portions, oh, definitely. Plus, I like to eat my main meal early in the day. My main meal is usually in the afternoon, not in the evening. That works for me.
Right.
So, you know, I have definitely changed my eating habits. And I am counting carbs and fats now since my mother has pancreatitis. And I know that you only should have 16 to 20 grams of fat a day. I'm starting to count that. I do not want pancreatitis. It's very painful and it's not good. So
but you have changed too. Yeah. Cheryl, what do you not do anymore or haven't done since you started doing the challenge? Is there anything you gave up completely? Or something you changed permanently? Are you muted?
no,
We're not hearing you. I think I heard you then.
Let me take this out.
There you go. You're good.
Okay. I don't eat. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I don't eat like breads, ice cream, desserts. I don't even want it. I make it, but I don't eat it. And I used not to really be a salad person, and anymore a salad is a treat. I enjoy it. I put all kinds of different stuff in my salads, you know. So yeah, I've changed a lot. But
Makes a difference when it's about health, doesn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And I feel so much better.
And that's true. I mean, we all get that experience of feeling better, having more energy, sleeping better, doing more. Yeah, so being healthy does have its benefits.
Yeah.
Colleen, are you able to talk?
For now.
Okay, we'll try. What have you changed that you feel has been permanent?
Well, I mean, when I went on Take Shape back, not this last January, but the January before that, I also quit smoking.
Yes.
And my husband, actually, I quit smoking in January, and then he saw how good I did, and he tried in May, and he hasn't smoked since, not this May, but last May. So we both, over a year, no smoking. I also, at the same time, quit drinking Diet Coke because of the aspartame in it. After I had him, I now occasionally grab a Diet Coke, but I will not have it in my house. If I drink it, it's only a treat because I will drink it like I'm an alcoholic. I'm addicted to that aspartame. So I drink a lot more water. I used to drink a lot of water while I was at work, but not on weekends because I drink Diet Coke all day long every day. In the middle of the night, I'd bring one up to bed with me.
Yeah.
So that's how much I drank Diet Coke. So I do not do that anymore. And I am much more aware of a little bit. When I was on Take Shape, I did great in general. I lost a lot of weight. And then, but even now, I still very aware on eating a lot less breads. And, you know, I still have ice cream once in a while, but nothing like I used to. Bread, I eat. When my husband makes burgers, I eat my burger without a roll, and I'm fine with it now. You know, back in the day.
That's great.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just watching how much carbs, and I used to eat at McDonald's a lot. I can't. It's been a while.
You said about every 3 hours.
I do eat. I do have snacks and everything, so I do eat. And I have been successful at losing weight too, doing that, even without Take Shape, just in general, because keeps your metabolism going.
Exactly, it's a habit of health.
That's what I tell everybody. I mean, you know, I know a program that works great. It worked great for me, but at a minimal, you should be eating healthy things every 3 hours or so because it keeps your metabolism running, especially once you start getting older. I mean, when you're 19, I guess it doesn't matter so much, but
I know, yeah. Marge,
none of us are 19.
what's changed for you that's permanent?
I think definitely the way we eat every day. It's not like when we, you know, if we went out, it was like I ate everything in sight. You know, I can go to Olive Gardens and have a salad, and if I do order pasta, I bring most of more than half of it home because I can't eat like I used to. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
And I think the more you, I mean, because I went from a size 20 dress down to a size 10, so my stomach is nowhere near as big and before, and I'm not about to start putting that weight onto the point, because up there in January, I put on a few pounds because her husband's an excellent cook, and I was very bad up there. And when I come back, somebody just said, well, just get some 11 and 12s, and I said, over my dead body. An 11 or 12 will not be back in this house again. I'll starve myself first and stuff. But no, I think it's really, I think my biggest thing is I'll say, you know, you can have some of that tomorrow. You don't have to eat the whole 9 yards today. It's going to be there tomorrow.
So we do all, I am too, better at portion controls by far. Yeah. So that's great, guys. What a nice sharing we did there. I'm going to sign off, let you guys get back to your life and your baby. And I thank you for coming. Do you and Marsh want to talk, Feline?
Yeah, for a couple minutes.
Okay, then I'm going to say good night, Cheryl. I'm going to stop the
Good night.
See you